So once again, good morning all. So welcome to the course Control Systems. So in the previous few sessions, we discussed regarding the representation of the control systems, that is block diagram reduction. Okay, so block diagram we have seen and reduction, and for that we have used the transfer function model of the control system. So same way, we'll take up a new representation alternative to the block diagram reduction. Okay, it is called as signal flow graphs. So that's what our discussion today. So we'll begin the theory regarding signal flow graphs, and then we'll discuss the problems. Okay, so it is one of the representation. So just we'll introduce what is signal flow graphs. For complicated systems, block diagram reduction is tedious and time consuming. So if you have done any problems on block diagram reduction, then only you will understand this point, right? So previous 3 to 4 sessions, we solved two problems in a session, and we come to know that, so every time we have to write a block diagram, right? So we have to see, draw a block diagram, and we have to simplify it, how much time it is consuming. Okay, and we have taken a very simple system there. If we take a complex systems like a nuclear reactor, satellite, okay, so then what is its block diagram maybe. Okay, so then how you do the reduction? So it is very difficult. Okay, so that's why I told you, if you have gone across the block diagram reduction, you will understand its difficulty and time consumingness. Okay, so that's why we should have some alternative for this. Okay, so that's why signal flow graph is a perfect alternate approach by block diagram representation. Okay, it is a alternate representation to block diagram. Okay, so we'll show that how block diagram is there, same thing it will convert it into signal flow graph, and even we have the problems later. Okay, from block diagram how we convert that into signal flow graph, and we solve that. Okay, signal flow graph does not require any reduction because there is a graph gain formula which directly gives the transfer function. So this is another interesting thing. One is you have an alternate approach for block diagram reduction, that is signal flow graph. Again, in signal flow graph, so first you will have the signal flow graph, and no need to every time write the diagram like in block diagram. Okay, we have a formula. From the diagram we will note down the things, and we will substitute that in the formula, and we'll directly get the transfer function. That's why it is very important. Okay, and it is used frequently in every control systems. Okay, that's why we'll focus much on signal flow graphs. Okay, it was developed by a person called as S.J. Mason. Okay, so because of this, the gain formula is called as Mason gain formula. Okay, so you'll be looking at that formula. Okay, and how to solve the problems also. Mason gain formula will call because of this person S.J. Mason. Okay, so definition. So this is about the introduction, what is signal flow graph and all. So now how we define that signal flow graph? Okay, so a signal flow graph is a graphical representation. Compared to block diagram reduction, it is a graphical representation of the relationship between the system variables. What are the system variables? System gain, okay, system input, system output. Okay, these are the variables. If they are related by some representation, graphical representation, we call that as a signal flow graph in the case of control systems. Okay, so this is about the simple definition. It is a graphical representation of the relationship between the system variables. Okay, so now we'll see some of its properties. Okay, and the required things we'll go through. So properties of signal flow graph. So my it's the numbers is in not order, so the same way we will speak out. So 2 slides I have the properties. So sometimes in theory they will ask, okay, list the properties or explain the properties of signal flow graphs. They will ask for 5 marks. So then you need to write these points. Okay, I have 7 points. So with the numbers only I will go through. Okay, so very first property I have here is, as I told you in the very beginning, the control systems, right? It is applicable only for linear systems as well as time invariant systems. We have learned it is in very first, second class only, classification of control system. What is linear, non-linear, what is time varying system and time invariant system. Okay, so such linear time invariant system only it is applicable. If you take non-linear or if you take time varying system and I apply Mason gain formula, it does not give you the actual result. Okay, so that's why it is called as, in short, LTI. Even in your signals and system, these words you will frequently use, right? LTI system and all. Okay, so even here it applies. Okay, linear time invariant system, only it is applicable. This is the first property of the signal flow graph. Okay, so second property I will list out from the second slide. There I have. So what is the second property? The signal flow graph, signal gets multiplied by the branch gain when it travels along it. So this also we'll see when we construct the signal flow graph from block diagram. Okay, so what you seen in block diagram, so there is a block, right? And that block is representing the transfer function, maybe G, H, whatever, right? I will call it as G. Okay, and it is having arrows, okay, which is entering to the block, and there is a output arrow. Okay, my arrows are not straight. Okay, understand it. And here whatever you write output of the block, it is output, and here it is input. Okay, now the same thing we will represent it by a node. Okay, so starting node and the end node. Okay, and whatever gain is there in that block, we will write it as an arrow which side it is going, and we write above that its gain value like G. Okay, so that's what it is sentence. The signal gets multiplied by the branch gain when it travels along it. So if it travels in this path, there are multiple paths, right? So if you are saying, so now college to Shamsuddin circle. Okay, so we have a single path, right? And what is its gain or kilometer? We'll write above that. So this path, it is taking this much kilometer. Okay, so like that, if you want to go market from some place, there will be alternate places, right? So different ways you can go, and each path is having different value, right? So one is taking 1.5 kilometer, another is 2 kilometer, another is 2.5 kilometer, another maybe 5 kilometer, like that. So it is same way in the control system. So gain are multiplied, and it is traveling along it. Okay, so we'll represent its gain with respect to that arrow. We'll see that. Okay, so don't worry now. This is property to understand. The third property, the value of variable represented by any node is an algebraic sum of all the signals entering at that node. I told you these are called as nodes here. Okay, so these are nodes here, and it may not be having only single path. It may be having parallel paths. Parallel paths, we call it as forward paths. We know, right? In signal, we'll show this arrow. If any feedback path is there, we'll show below that. Okay, so like this it is coming from, and the arrow will be shown reverse now. Okay, because there is a feedback path, and normally minus sign will be associated with that because we are not using any summing points here. Summing points, whatever minus sign is there, we'll use it along with that H. Okay, so minus H, we'll write like this. Okay, so to compensate the summing point here. Okay, so at this point here, so at this point, at this node now, this property holds good. The value of variable represented by any node, the value at this node is an algebraic sum of all the signals entering that node. Entering, okay, only which is arrow coming here, not leaving. So here 1, 2. Okay, so there may be another path also, it is coming from feedback. Okay, so that also counts here. Arrowhead, okay, arrowhead coming to that node, all that will be added. For example, if it is this value is A above, this is B, okay, and this is C, then the value of at this node is called as A plus B plus C, like that. Okay, that is the algebraic sum. Next, fourth property, the value of the variable represented by any node is available to all the branches leaving that node. Even if we consider at this node, so whatever value is there at this node, it is used for this path also, this path also. Okay, so based on that only we are doing the multiplication, right? Previously I have done C of S is equal to G into R of S when you are writing. So this R of S is considered. Okay, the same way it will holds good in signal flow graph. Okay, this is just the property we are discussing. So we'll see that how to construct, how to solve that, everything. Okay. Then for a given system, signal flow graph is not unique. So what is meant by not unique? Okay, so this is not the only signal flow graph. Okay, for particular system. Okay, so saying this signal flow graph, this belongs to this system only, we could not say. It may be a pneumatic system, it can be a electrical system. Okay, as we have told in signal block diagram also. So when we write block diagram, it does not come to know which system it is. Okay, only if you have derived from electrical system or mechanical system, we come to know it is system. Okay, so that's the idea. It is not unique. So another two property I have, so that is not there in this slide. Okay. So signal flow graph can also be obtained from system equations directly. So we have seen the system equations. We are going to see that system equations means what? Very first we have written in analog system, equivalent mechanical network is written. Then we have written the equations, right? So F is equal to M into d square x by dt square. Okay. So like that, some equations you have written, right? They are called as performance equations, system equations, equilibrium equations. Okay. So lots of other names are there. So that is this one. So if you have that equations, from that also directly you can write the signal flow graph. So that is one of the property. And these equations must be in algebraic form, that is in S domain. Okay. Seventh or last property of signal flow graph is it can be obtained from the block diagram of a system also. So if a block diagram is given, okay, if they are not mentioned block diagram reduction rules, reduce the block diagram or find out the transfer function C of S by R of S by block diagram reduction technique, only if they mention, you will solve using that. If it is not mentioned, okay, some other exam, not VTU exam, some real time, some problems you are solving, then why you go for that when you have advantage over signal flow graph? So what you will do that time, you will write the signal flow graph of that block diagram, and whatever rules applicable here, you will apply that. Okay. So that is what about saying about this seventh property. Okay. So even we have the problem how to do that. One problem we have, if a block diagram is given, how we convert that and how we solve that. Okay. So overall, it is a very simple process, signal flow graph. So, and these are the 7 properties. Okay. So now we'll introduce signal flow graph, how we construct that. Okay. How it looks like. So I have taken a simple simple closed loop system I have taken here. So which is visible here. So previously also you have taken this. This is a input represented as U or some cases R. Okay. In problem and all I am discussing as R. In theory when I am discussing, I am considering it as U and output as Y. Okay. So this is observation. Then you have the forward path, above path. It is having the value or transfer function G. And there is a feedback from the output, which is H. Okay. So this system you have seen. Okay. And this is the feedback signal denoted as B, which is multiplication of this transfer function and the input. Input is here Y. This is the H. So that's why it is Y into H. Earlier we are writing Y of S into H of S. Just I'm writing now YH. Then at the summing point, whatever output comes, we call that as an error signal or just E we will write. Okay. And from the formula, you know, last time. So here if I consider plus minus, okay. So it is written inside that. If you consider here signal plus, so then what is your formula? So it is Y, output Y is equal to input will be multiplied to that, right? So U into G divided by 1 minus GH, if a minus plus sign is there. If it is a minus sign, you know better. So G divided by 1 plus GH is the transfer function. For that input is multiplied, then it becomes a output Y. Okay. So this is a block diagram you have seen. That's why you have taken this example. So for this, if you write a signal flow graph, how it looks like. So whatever we have the points here, U, E, okay, Y and B, this we will represent as a nodes. Okay. So see here, Y, okay, then E, then Y, output Y, and then intermediate B. Okay. So we'll show like this different nodes. Then to connect these nodes, so from U to B, so what we have, nothing we have, right? No blocks are here, just a summing point is there with plus sign. So that's why what is its gain? 1. So either I will write the arrow at the end here, or some cases the books, they will write it in the middle. Okay. Just a line they will draw and middle they will show, and above that this gain will be written. Okay. Then from E to Y. So next our node is E to Y. So what is the gain? G is written in the block diagram. So that we write above that line. Okay. I told you either arrow will be shown here or it will be shown in the middle. Okay. So there we'll write the gain of that. Okay. So in between we'll write. Then next we have the node B. So B to Y, this path. What is the gain? H is there. So that's why what I have written H here. Okay. But direction is reverse now. Okay. So arrow is coming here. Next B to E. Next B to E, what you have? So if you have a plus sign here, plus 1. If you have a minus sign here, minus 1. I have considered, assume it is minus here. Okay. So normally you have seen it is a minus sign, right? So that's why B to E is a minus is there. To overcome that minus we told, right? if in a signal point to remove, just will multiply -1. Okay, that's why here the value of the gain is -1. Okay, so this is how your signal flow graph looks like. Compared to block diagram, there are 4 components were there: block, arrow, summing point, and the takeoff points. Whereas in signal flow graph, we have only 2. One is node, okay, another is arrow. Okay, so that is how the representation is about. Okay, so just this thing only I have written here. Signal flow graph consists of a network in which nodes representing each of the system variables. So these are system variables: U, E, Y, B. Okay, like that. So U is input, Y is output, E and B are intermediate variables. Okay, system variables are connected by directed branches. So just branches calling is different. Directed branches is different. Directed branches means here arrow is shown, direction is given. That's why it is called as directed branches. The directed branches have associated branch gains. Branch gains represented above that 1, G, H, -1, whatever we have written. This is called as gains. A signal can be transmitted through a branch only in the direction of the arrow. So whatever signal you have to transmit only through that path. Okay. So now U to G you have Y you have to go means only one path is there. U to E you have to go, E to Y you have to go. Okay. So only one path. In case if you have an alternative path shown above that, okay, so then we can say this is a direct path, U to Y. Okay. So it will transmit only through the direction of the arrow. Okay, how it is shown. So in the above example, okay, so this given example, as I told you, U, E, B and Y are the nodes, okay, representing the system variables with symbols representing the system variables. So if you write the equation of this at E, so E, what algebraic sum we are writing 1 into U, okay, so shown it is in the bracket 1 into U plus, normally plus will write algebraic sum. So what is coming from another path? It is B into -1. Only this one I will consider, not from Y. Okay. So -1 into B. So it is U minus B at this node E. Okay. Then B is equal to. So B is where? Here. Right. So what is there? B? Only one path is there, that is coming from Y with H. That's why H into Y it is there. HY. Okay. And then you have the last one Y. The output Y, it is having only one path. Okay, G into E. So GE. Okay, so these are the 3 paths. So U, there is nothing coming. That's why U is not considered here. Out of 4 variables, E, B, Y is written. So U is the beginning point. That's why its equation you could not write. It is just a 0. Okay, nothing is there here. Okay. So this is how a signal flow graph can be constructed, or it is represented with its components. Okay. Okay. So now components of signal flow graph. As I told you, only there are 2 components. One is node, another is branch. Whatever arrow we are calling in block diagram, we call that as branch here, directed branches. Okay, because branch will have gain. So node is what here? That is a system variable. As I told you, U, E, B, Y in the previous case. Okay. So node represents a system variable which is equal to the sum of all incoming signals at that node. We have shown in previous slide both. Okay. So what is system variable and their algebraic sum also. And outgoing signals do not affect the variable at the node. So outgoing signals do not affect the value at that variable of that node. Okay. So this is about the first component, node. Okay. So whatever you have studied in network theory, node, that is also same. Okay. Next we have branch. Okay. So branch is nothing but which is the connecting things between the 2 nodes. Okay. A signal travels along a branch from one node to another in the direction indicated by the branch arrow. Okay. So that is the line whichever is connected. It may be having curved line or straight line. Okay. So if you have a multiple path, we could not show directly this one, right? Straight line we could not show. So that's why curved lines also we'll use, and that is called as branch. Okay. And each branch has a gain. You have observed that. Okay. G, H, 1, -1, whatever value you are writing, it is called as gain of that branch. The signal passing through a branch gets multiplied by its gain. Okay, so that is about the two components in a signal flow graph. So along with these two, we have some terminologies in signal flow graph. Okay, because these terminologies we will use it in formula, because there is no reduction here, just a representation, whatever there, from there we will writing, right? So that's why some notations or terminologies you should understand, so that I will be explaining. Okay, the first terminology is input node, or it is also called as source. Okay, input node is called as, so in the previous example, the U. Okay, so node with only outgrowing branches. Did you see any incoming branches there at the U? No, right? It is only outgoing. That's why its value is not written, algebraic sum. Only E, B, Y we have written. You have not written because it is not having any incoming branches. That is, if any node is there which is having only outgoing branches, that we call it as source. Okay, or it is just an input node. Simple, right? So second way, output node. So output node, what is speciality? Just complicated to that. It is also called as sink. Okay, so node with only incoming branches. So after Y, you don't see any outgoing branches, right? That is the final point. Okay, so that's why it is only incoming branches, and the source is only having outgoing branches. Okay, I hope you can easily understand these points. If this condition is not met, an additional branch with unit gain may be introduced. For example, some cases what happens? So the output Y, they will show like this. Okay, and previous example also is an example, and there is a feedback we are taking from Y, right? So in that case, so this terminology will not hold good. Node with only incoming branches, we told, right? So it may be going here, outgoing, right? So it is going incoming branch here, parallel branch also may come. Okay, so like that it may come. So in such cases, what you have to do is just you have to extend one line from that node. This also Y, you also call it another Y here with a gain one, because just introducing one, nothing will happen, right? So that is called as sink. This is the final node. It should not have any outgoing branches. Okay, so only incoming branches. So these are the two main terminologies. Along with that, we have many others. Path. Okay, what is meant by path? Okay, it is the traversal of connected branches in the direction of branch arrows such that no node is traversed more than once. Okay, it is called as the path. So you are traveling in, so you can consider it is walking or your bike riding. Okay, you are going through some path, right? So the same thing. So it is a traversal of connected branches. Some junctions we have nodes. So here to here we will reach. Okay, in Google Map and all it will show. So if you want to go some places, in between some places also it will come. So that also we will be looking at, right? They will be the intermediate paths. For example, if you have to go from here to Jog Falls now. Okay, so which path you will take? So it is your, if you are going from Honavar, right? So Honavar, Gersappa, like that you will go. So the Gersappa, Honavar is your points, right? Because there are multiple branches are there. If you go to Honavar, you should know which direction I have to take to go Joga. If you go straight, you will reach Kumta, right? So that is the thing. Okay, the same thing in the control system. So you will be having multiple paths. So it is the traversal of the connected branches in the your direction in the branch arrows such that no node is traversed more than once. So you should not take a round here only, right? You should traverse. Okay, so to your destination. Okay, so such thing we call it as path. Then forward path in that. So in the path only we have two types, forward path and loop. This we have seen in block diagram also. So path means path from the input node to the output node. Okay, from input to output, whatever you have, forward path. Okay, so in G we have written in the case of block diagram, right? So that is called as forward path. Okay, and the loop is which is feedback. Okay, a path which originates and terminates at the same node. Okay, so you have one node here and you have another node here. Okay, and it is coming back as a feedback. Okay, so this complete we call it as loop. This complete we call it as loop because it is traversing to this node and it is coming back to the same node. So you are going to Murdeshwar and coming back to Bhatkal. So now Bhatkal is your, so this complete path is a loop. There is no gap here. Okay, forward path means, So just from input to output, but to 1 hour you have traveled. That is forward path. There is no feedback again. You are not coming back. Okay. So that is forward path, and this is loop. Okay. We'll see that representation and all next. Okay. So these are some difficult terms to understand. So you have to give focus. Okay. So whatever you have learned now, input node, source, sink, simple. Okay. Only outgoing branches, only incoming branches. Then we have seen the path, forward path, loop. Understandable. So what is non-touching loops here? The loops with no common nodes. Okay. So there should not be any common nodes in that. Okay. So this will be understood only when we are discussing Mason-Gain formula. So till there you have to wait. Okay. So definition is loops with no common nodes. For that diagram is required. In that time I will explain. Okay. So again we are using these terms. Then path gain or branch gain we have told, no, that is product of branch gains encountered in traversing a path. Okay. So just if you consider one path, one node to another, that is called as just branch gain. But if you have many branch gains multiplied, then we call that as path gain. So for example, if you have a path here, okay, so I have a path, so it is having multiple nodes here in between. Okay, I call this much. So now this path gain value is G1, this branch gain. So this is the branch gain from this node to this node. From this node to this node, its branch gain is G2, I will call. Okay. And then from this node to this node, I will call this as G3 gain. Okay. So G1, G2, G3. So now what is called as path gain? Product of branch gains encountered in traversing a path. Okay. So that is the path gain is called as from here, this node to this node, which is a multiplication of this branch gains G1, G2, G3. Okay. That is your path gain here. Okay. Hope you have understood this. Okay. G1, G2, G3. Okay. So then another loop is self loop. Okay. It is a loop consisting of a single branch. So this normally looks like this. So this is your, okay, some signal flow graph. So if you have a self loop like this, so normal in state diagrams and all, you are seeing this. Okay. So it is having only one branch. Okay. So this is called as self loop. So starting at that, and it is not traversing to any other node, only this node. Okay. So that we call it as self loop. Okay. Even this also should be considered sometime. Okay. So these are some of the terminologies. Okay. So we are taking some new thing, right? So now we have come to the Mason-Gain formula. I told you this is the formula we'll use to solve the problem. So no need to draw the diagram every time. Okay, as you have done in block diagram reduction. Okay, so really to understand, we will take problems. Okay, so till then just you listen. Okay, so some 10% you will have to understand. So remaining you'll understand when we discuss the problems. Okay, very simple compared to block diagram. So purpose of Mason-Gain formula is to find the overall gain of the signal flow graph, which is the transfer function of the system. You will find overall transfer function. The overall gain or transfer function is determined from this formula. It is a summation of or algebraic sum of, so Pk del k by delta. Okay, k is equal to 1 to n. So what is this? We need to understand. So this is the formula. Okay, so given by Mason. Pk. So what is TF? Overall transfer function of the system. It may be defined as C of S by R of S in the previous case. Okay. So it can be anything. So it can be C of S by R of S. Overall transfer function. Next, second one, P suffix K. Okay. So K is varying from 1 to n, we have told. It is the path gain of kth forward path. So how many forward paths are there, that we have to understand. For example, if you are traveling from Bhatkal to Honavar, if you have 3 paths, then it is having 3 path gains. So all the 3 you have to consider. So this path gain is taking some 35 kilometers. Another path may be taking 36 kilometers. Another path may be taking 40 kilometers, right? So all the 3 we will be considering. So that is path gain of kth forward path. Okay, so how many? 3 is there, so that we have to understand very first. By looking into the block diagram, we have to identify what is the value of k, or number of forward paths we say. Okay, so from that, so this formula will be simplified. So if you have only 2, it is called as P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2, like that. 3 is there, P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 plus P3 delta 3, like that. Okay, this is expansion. So in group, we will be using this symbol summation. Okay, so then n stands for your number of forward paths in the graph. N we have to stay actually. Okay, so number of forward paths in the graph will be indicated by this n. Okay, so there are other things are there, delta and delta k. What is this? So that we'll see next. So delta is called as a determinant of the graph. So determinant of the graph, it is given by the formula. Okay, so what is that formula? 1 minus, so inside that we have to write all the individual loops, sum of individual loop gains. We have understood previously in the path loop, right? So that loop we have to identify the gains. Okay, so loop will have the 2 branch gains, right? So that branch gains you have to multiply, that is called as loop gains, individual loop gains. Okay, next plus. Okay, alternate minus and plus you will get. So first minus we have used, so next it will come plus. So now we will consider all sum of gain products of all combination of 2 non-touching loops. I told you I will explain that in the problem. Okay, so 2 non-touching, 3 non-touching, 4 non-touching loops, like that it will be, terminologies are there. So we will understand that what is non-touching loop, and 2 non-touching, 3 non-touching, all these things we will understand. So how many things are there, that will write with plus sign. Then minus, okay, so then alternate minus sum of gain products of all combinations of 3 non-touching loops. I told you here 2 non-touching I took, then 3 non-touching loops. Similarly it will continue. Okay, minus is there, next plus sign will come, 4 non-touching loops minus 5 non-touching loops. Okay, so like that it will come, but in our problem we will be maximum going up to here. Okay, 3 non-touching loops, but majority problems will end here only. Okay, that is 2 non-touching loops. Okay, sum of individual loop gains and 2 non-touching loops still there, it will be there, and some extent the problem may go up to 3 non-touching, 4, 5 and all we are not discussing. It is a very complex system. Okay, we are not going to up to that. Okay, so then delta k, so this is about delta, both will indicate. Okay, this is here written and here formula is written. Okay, so both are same, you can together you can write in the notes. Then del k means the value of delta for the part of the graph not touching the kth forward path. So these terminals also you have to understand when we are discussing problem only. Okay, so then only we'll discuss that. Okay, so the value of delta for a reduced graph with nodes and branches in the kth forward path, remove. Okay, so which is not there in that path, we will be removing that. So you'll understand that with the problem itself, then you will understand that. Okay, okay, so this is about the Mason gain formula. So to understand that, we have to go for problem only. So only 4 minutes time is there, so we'll discuss tomorrow only that. Okay, so just quickly we will recall what we have discussed today. We started off with the alternate representation to block diagram reduction. It is signal flow graph. It was developed by an S.J. Mason. So where he is given the graph gain formula, because of that no need to write the reduction every time picture. Okay, so just use the formula and we'll solve that. Okay, so signal flow graph is a graphical representation of the relationship between the system variables, input, output, intermediate variables. Okay, then we have discussed the various properties of signal flow graphs. It is applicable only for linear time invariant system, which is the very important property, along with other we have seen. Then signal flow graph example we have taken. Okay, so from the block diagram, a simple block diagram, how we can write a signal flow graph, and then their components, node and branch, then different terminologies, source, sink, path, forward path, loop, non-touching loops, path gain, self gain. Okay, all these things we have taken. Then finally, we have discussed the Mason gain formula. Okay, and its terms. Okay, so till here we have come across. Okay, so tomorrow what we'll do, we'll take the problems and we try to solve that. Okay, using this formula. Okay.